Hello everyone, hope you're doing all right. So, MMP review. Today is Tuesday. Today so far has been a great day. It is played out like we wanted it to and like we demanded off of price, so that's nice. So let me go over a few trades as well as a trade that I took today. So obviously we saw a dollar coming into the daily fair value gap. We had Australian dollar news, GBP news, we had Euro news, and we had USD news. So it was a very volatile day, and that's exactly what we expected. So that's perfect. Then for the dollar, in the Discord, I said, all right, we can come into this mitigation block right here and then continue higher off of that. We are potentially creating a 4-hour fair value gap for our order block to continue higher off of tomorrow. So tomorrow will likely even be easier to trade. Why is this? Well, on Monday, obviously, we had some sort of consolidation like we expected. Tuesday is basically us trying to call a bottom. So this is a little bit low probability. Of course, it's still a high probability day, but in if you compare it to Wednesday, so to tomorrow, tomorrow will be even a higher probability since tomorrow will likely be some sort of pullback, retracement, and then a continuation higher. That's the same as in London. In London, you're likely trying to call the bottom, and then in New York, it's just a retracement and a continuation higher. So it's easier to trade in a sense. So Wednesday, Thursday, likely easier to trade since you're not trying to call a top and a bottom. All right, now dollar is playing out as it's supposed to do right here. And what we expected. Now, if we move on to the pairs right here, not going over all the currencies, they are basically the same thing, right? Euro, Australian dollar. This is still from the last week. Nothing much right here. I said going into today, so the previous MMP review, I didn't really like this because we were disrespecting this. There's nothing really to go higher off of. Nothing really nice for me. So you can see what kind of result that gives as well. It's not a nice entry. Right here's London session. So if I did trade this, I would have likely entered somewhere here. We've got it maybe even stopped out. Who knows? So it's not something I like. All right. So Euro NZD daily still coming into the daily fair value gap. It's not going higher currently. So it is a bit stuck right here on the 15-minute. It's a bit stuck. So tomorrow we have Euro CPI and we have on Thursday, or was it on Friday, we have New Zealand dollar balance of trade. So that's something to take a look at. Maybe we get the volatility there. All right, GBP Australian dollar. Same thing as Euro Australian dollar. There was nothing really clear for me right here. Now, next days, there might be something clear because if we're expanding higher right here, we have an order block right here with a potential fair value gap in the making. So that would be interesting for us to take a look at. USD Canadian dollar, same thing. I didn't like this because we were in a consolidation. So this was not on my list. USD JPY. Now I did like this, especially for tomorrow, since we have JPY news tomorrow, but we are already expanding a lot right here. So I wouldn't really expect us to come all the way back down here and then continue higher. That wouldn't really make sense for me. So some kind of 4-hour fair value gap or a new 4-hour order block here, that might be interesting. So in the next London session of tomorrow on Wednesday, we might see a JPY move. That could be interesting. This was the pair I was mainly focused on for today, AU, and I also told everyone in the Discord as well this morning, but especially on the previous MMP review. Now, why was this? This had the volatility today. So we had Australian dollar coming into the Asia session. So in London, we had a volatility and it was paired with a BPR, fair value gap right here, and a previous day high sweep. Very, very clean. Now my entry was right here. There it is, and I covered my stop loss right here. I am still in this trade. I'm aiming for these lows right there. I'm currently leaving it run. It's doing whatever it wants. Retracement could still happen, so I'm not too worried about it. So I'm still expecting lower prices right here. Then on EU as well, this is the same trade we called. So AU, EU, GU, we all caught it in Discord, and it was absolutely perfect, and it was insane seeing everyone catching the same trades. It was absolutely beautiful. So EU was the same ID actually. It was previous day high. It had news drivers. It had Euro news drivers, USD news drivers. So right here, we exploded into it and then now dropping off. So Wednesday will likely be more clear since Tuesday already came into it. It's rejecting candle signs. So the next days could be very clear. Of course, if it does want to follow through, and it does seem like it so far. So that's nice. All right, so here you could have a lot of people took an entry, I think, right here, and covered this, something along the lines of this. Very nice, clean. All right, my PC just turned off, and all right, but we're back. All right, so I was talking about EU right here, and let's continue right here with EU. So I was talking about this entry. Now, I just wanted to say before my PC turned off, since we can trade news on USD right here, especially since we already came into this daily fair value gap ahead of the new news, that ahead of that news driver essentially. So if I, all right, perfect. So right here, we had news driver at 8:30, but since we are already displacing away from this daily fair value gap, this will likely only be a retracement. So this news driver will likely only be a retracement. It's the same with equities open and 3M open on DAX. This happens a lot, where if we are already displacing away from a higher time frame PD array, then this news driver will only be a retracement and then a continuation lower, which is what happened. So a lot of people as well got chopped up right here trying to catch this sell. And that's what I mentioned in the Discord as well. I said, watch out for the daily fair value gap, because a lot of people will get chopped up right here because they are trying to catch the early sell. And there is a big, obvious daily fair value gap above price. So that's just price generating liquidity. And the exact same happened on GU. And this is also what I said in Discord as well. This is all liquidity. Why is it liquidity? Because we have a daily fair value gap here above price. So this, sometimes you'll see consolidations like this hold, but that's only when the higher time frame is already supporting the ID. But because there's a higher time frame premium array hovering above price right here, then you'll see something like this, and then a continuation lower. So this was also a nice entry right here. Could have been an entry, and I think some people caught this as well. Perfect entries, perfect executions. So we demanded a lot of price, and we got exactly what we demanded, and that is high probability. That is high probability conditions. So you can see we've waited a long time for these conditions back in the US dollar, and they are paying off. So you can see now how accurate and how simple it can be, and how insanely accurate we can get when the high probability conditions are there. And that leads me to the next thing. In these times, and I always tell people I like to focus on one session, in these times where high probability conditions are there, and they are super high probability conditions, and you are demanding stuff off of price, and it's happening exactly like you say, you are reading price action like a book. And you don't even miss a word. You are reading it like a book, and you're just that intuition is taking over. You're at your A game, etc. So in this case, if you're only a London trader and you feel like on these days you feel like you can trade New York, then go do it. Then absolutely go for it. Because and of course, you need to have the experience, the emotional control to recognize, is it my emotions talking that I need to trade New York, or is it my intuition, etc. That's very important. But in these super high probability conditions, you can trade both sessions because price is doing exactly what you want it to do. And that's a high probability. And it's very clear, it's very simple, and we can capitalize on these high probability days. Of course, we also need to feel a high probability in our mental game. So we need to be at our A game as well. So those psychology and execution, etc., need to be in harmony with each other. So everything is so clear that it doesn't require a lot of brain points, because obviously if price action isn't that clear, then focusing on one session is the best because that requires already a lot of brain points. But if the high probability conditions are there and it's so easy to spot a trade, etc., then you don't require, it doesn't require a lot of brain points. So you can focus on 2 sessions. All right. So I think I said everything I wanted to say right here. Yeah, Wednesday will be nicer, most likely, because then the trend is already established and you're not trying to call the top or bottom of the week. So Wednesday does have a chance to be nicer if this wants to be the high of the week, of course. There's nothing set in stone. All right, and then why did we enter before news? That's also what I explained, right? Right here we have, this is the news spike essentially here at 8:30. You could have gotten in right here. Perfectly fine, because this already displaced away. So this will likely be a retracement and not a sweep above the highs and then a continuation. If there's a fair value gap in the leg, then the leg will likely hold. All right, so that's it for now. Let me give a quick breakdown and forecast of what I'm expecting, what I'm looking at. So tomorrow we have, on Wednesday, we have JPY, we have Euro again, and USD again. Then that's about it. Then on Thursday, we have a bank holiday for the Euro. So, and we do have some Australian dollar, so that will be interesting. Australian dollar, US dollar for Thursday will be interesting. Then some Canadian dollar. Then Friday we have NZD, JPY. So tomorrow I would still be focused on the same pairs. So that's USD, JPY, but this is already expanding. I don't quite like it because you can see I demanded something off of price on the other pairs, and I demanded something off of price on this pair as well. But this pair is not delivering to my demands, and that makes it low probability, because then you have to adjust and you have to force something, etc. Makes it a little bit low probability. Of course, we need to react, but if the main ID isn't there anymore, then we might just be better off looking at another pair. All right, so Euro Australian dollar, if it does want to continue higher, then that might be a little play that we could see, but nothing clear for me here just yet. Euro NZD, nothing clear right here on the daily. Is that glitched or what is it? I swear, like 30 minutes ago, this wasn't there, but maybe it's my trading view. But all right, there is still a daily fair value gap right here because we just saw it. But so it could sweep still previous day low with Euro CPI tomorrow, and then a continuation higher if it doesn't want to displace right here. So this could be all build up liquidity. Tomorrow CPI, something along the lines of this could happen. All right. So then for, did I go over Euro Australian dollar? Yeah, GBP Australian dollar. GBP Australian dollar, same thing, right? Like we talked about, this order block in the making right here could be something interesting. So tomorrow, if we close above right here, we don't need to close above, but that is preferred in my opinion. Then this could already act as an order block right here for tomorrow. So that's something interesting as well. USD Canadian dollar, nothing here for me. USD JPY, just like I said, nothing really clean. So I would prefer to trade another pair. Australian dollar USD, this is nice because now we can possibly see continuation. If we can get some sort of order block, if we can get a fair value gap on the 4-hour, that would be really nice. So continuation and Wednesday, Thursday trending days. So a continuation to these lows would be really clean. EU, same thing, same logic as well. Continuation of the lows to continue taking out lows would be really clean. Then GU, same logic right here. We came into the daily fair value gap, of course, swept previous day high as well. If we can continue and then maybe create an order block, would be really clean. So right now, Wednesday and Thursday will likely be expanding days. So ideally, we want to get in either today or tomorrow. And then on Thursday and Friday, we react and we see whatever happens. But majority of the volatility was coming into the market on Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's where we want to get involved. And then just ride the wave, essentially. All right, so that was it for this MMP review, and I'll see everyone later. And I'll keep everyone updated. All right, thank you.